Hello everyone, I'm Josh.
And I'm Kisha.
And today we're going to talk about 12 frugal wedding ideas that we use in order to save on our wedding. The months leading up to our wedding, we did a budget, we shopped around, we made a list of our wants and needs. That's including people who was going to be there too.
Absolutely.
And also we began to search around town for the best prices out there. But before we get started, if you want to see more content like this, make sure that you go on and give us a thumbs up down there below. And as well, if you're interested in ways that you can save, make money, and all things about your finances, go on and hit that red subscribe button until it turns gray, and that way you don't miss anything. So here are some tips that Kisha and I use for our frugal wedding, and also that you may be able to take advantage of, and that way you can keep your costs down. So Kisha, what would be the first thing that you would recommend for people to do to keep the costs down in a wedding?
I would say to avoid strangers. On my side of the family is very small. I don't have a lot of people, unlike you. Have a big community where you grew up. So you probably wanted to invite everyone. But to me, I feel like if I don't know them or, together, then they shouldn't be invited.
So I guess it's like not just inviting your Facebook friends, but people that you actually have a connection with. Once you sit down and it's like $30 a head, then you start reevaluating things.
Right. The cost was getting up there when we started doing our list. And so we had to revisit it. I'm like, okay, let's go back to who really needs to come. That's the VIP. So not everyone made the cut.
I feel that that's one thing that a lot of people have to realize whenever they're planning their frugal wedding. With each additional person that you add to your list, you're just adding to that cost. And another way that we were able to keep our costs down was to use talented friends and family. You will be surprised of the connections that people would have. Like at our wedding, we had recording artists that came in to perform for us for like just a gift. And also my friends. My brother, he's into music and editing, and as well as my sister, that she's a photographer. So just use some of the things out there and people out there and great resources. And even at our wedding, some of the entertainment at the wedding, since I play the piano and sing as well, I was able to serenade Kisha. Yes, it's little moments like that. You can go out there and pay someone $1,000, $2,000 to play the music for you or record it or take pictures. But when you use in-house services, it means so much more.
I am very blessed that he had friends and family that were able to help through our wedding.
And a talented husband.
Yes, because it made the cost less. And we didn't have to pay for so many things. And that was part of their gift to us.
And another way that you can save money for your wedding is pretty much looking for free and discounted locations around the community. I know in a lot of times communities, they have nice parks, or if you have a great friend with a nice backyard. But I know sometimes with that type of stuff, you will have to rent additional equipment, but it's not like $10,000 worth.
Yeah, with our wedding, it was originally supposed to be in Georgia, but when we started looking for the venues, it was very costly and not budget friendly for our budget. So we asked around, and my mother-in-law, she suggested a place in North Carolina, which is a college that she graduated from. And they had a chapel in there that we were able to rent. And it was way cheaper than
any other thing.
Any other thing around here in Georgia. So we went with there, and it was perfect.
So your location, I would say, Kisha, would be pretty much key to keep that cost down. Like, why pay $10,000, $15,000 when you can get it for $1,000? Or even if you use your local church, just say even there, they may even say $50. So
another way to save money is to hire a family-owned restaurant. Now, you may think like that's not appropriate, or that's not what you want to do. But you have some, well, I know for us, we have some really good people that can cook, especially in his family. So that is probably one of our biggest thing, because when you do the food, you pay per head. So that goes back to inviting only the VIP people to your wedding.
And if you really have good friends and family and you're trying to save money, if they get offended, that's just telling you what type of person they are. Because you do have those people out there who you tell them, please RSVP, we got a pay per head, and they think, oh, that's just Josh, that's just Kisha, we're going to show up to the event. So that's the route that I was going to take, but I'm blessed to have parents that was like, yeah, you know what, we're going to go on and take care of the food for you. Because I was like, no, if you're not going to RSVP, don't eat. I mean, we would love to still fellowship with you at the ceremony itself, because you're the one who's paying for it, not them. And family-owned restaurants, a lot of times, like Kisha said, a lot of times people might sleep on that. But a lot of times whenever it's a family-owned restaurant, they are vested into that business. They are invested into what happens with their name. So a lot of times you will actually find those people that will go the extra mile to understand your particular budget needs as well. And guys, I never knew how many florists there were out there, or different types of flowers, until we got engaged and Kisha wanted to start looking out at flowers. With me, I'm like, let's go to the Dollar Tree, let's hook up some flowers and let's just do that. But at the same time, I still wanted Kisha to have the wedding that she wanted as well, on a budget. You can always go out there, like if you have a friend or a parent, or maybe even if you have a flower bush or rose bush, just go out there, clip some roses and flowers. But what would you say about the flower route?
I would say shop around, get those that, where did we go? We went to
it was another family-owned floral shop.
Right.
So they did put a lot of heart into it and gave us some great discounts as well. So don't let the flowers intimidate you. The first place that you go to, it's like shopping for, I guess, clothes. You don't just walk in there, for most of us, and grab the first thing off the rack. With flowers at your wedding, do the same thing. Don't settle for the first price. Negotiate. I mean, that negotiation is a thing. So Kisha, what's another way that we were able to save money, is that people at home can save money?
I would say skip the gift from each person that helped with your wedding. Normally you'll get something that you may not really use. I know for our wedding we did the thank you card, and it was a handwritten message, and then what do we do? A bottle of wine? Well,
the bottle, let me tell you this story. And if you were in our wedding, thank you so much. At the reception that we had bottles of wine, one for each table. So when we do the toast, everybody would just pour a little bit. I mean, we had like 15, 20 tables. So it was a economy bottle of wine at each table. However, the day of the wedding, the chapel told us not to lock the door, but someone, I'm not even sure who, went back to lock the door. So the wine was locked up in the room. So the people that helped out in the wedding, like the bridesmaids, groomsmen, the ushers, the host and hostess, they were cleaning up at the end. They eventually got into the room by climbing into the ceiling, climbing down in the attic, and dropping in on the room. So they took it upon themselves. Everyone that was a part of that process that helped out, they helped themselves to a bottle of wine on us. So, I mean, they got a gift.
They did get a gift.
Yeah, and it was like knocking out two birds with one stone. So don't go out and spend like hundreds of dollars on a gift for someone. Like Kisha said, that a lot of times people are grateful, but they're really not going to use that weird thing that you dropped in a bag for them. So just go simple, and the appreciation will still be there, because at the end of the day, those people would be there for you and not the gift. And also, you can consider making your own wedding invitations. You remember our wedding invitations we had?
I did, because I did them.
Yeah, and they were awesome too. It's amazing what a piece of paper in a colored printer could actually do. It saved us thousands of dollars. And also, we saved so much money by using our own equipment like stereo microphones. Because I am a musician, I already had speakers and PA systems and everything else just laying around the house. So even if you know someone, if you go to a church where they're able or may have a PA system that you can use, it won't hurt you to ask. Much as someone would be able to do is say no, then you're still in the same place that you were before. And not only just using your own equipment, come up with your own playlist as well. Kisha, she got online and came up with all of the songs that she wanted played at the wedding.
And then we also had a family member who came already prepared to what she wanted to listen to. So she had her own CD to bring to the party.
Yeah, and I still remember the DJ was like, "Yo, Josh, your aunt brought her own CD. What do you want me to do?" I was like, "Play it." I mean, that was less stress on us. Because one thing that you can also do to save money with that is skip out on a lot of the dances. Because every dance that we were going to put in with the DJ, it was going to be $10 extra a dance. So we had our first dance. And after that, we were hungry. It was Kisha, she fasted for the day. My family, we went out to eat, so I wasn't as hungry as her, but she thought I was fasting too, but still love her. So we were like, you know what, let's just skip the dances. We went out on our first dance, and after that, we was like, let's pray and let's eat. But like Kisha said, my aunt came in and was like, this is my jam. She liked the things like the electric slide, the Cupid shuffle, the continental drift. I'm not gonna go through them all. And what's that? Oh, big girl, back it up. You gotta back it up. Wobble. Oh, yeah. The stress was taken off of us, and the CD just played, and people jammed. Because at the end of the day, people are not going to remember every song that was played, but especially with the music, it's creating that experience. What do you say?
Yes, and it's one of those things where they remember, wow, I really had fun at this wedding. Buying your dress on sale is another big purchase.
So I heard.
Yes, you can get a dress for thousands of dollars. And my opinion is you only wear it one time, so why not try to get something that's on sale that's not going to break your pocket? My dress was only $100.
Wow.
And I loved it.
You look good in it too.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. She was coming down the aisle, I was like, whoa, that's my wife, but keep going. Just have to put that in there.
So, with our wedding, it only lasted, the ceremony, it was like 10 minutes and it was done. So that was that $100. I'm happy that I didn't go overboard and spend a lot of money on something that I only wore once and then it sits in my closet.
And the same thing goes with the suits as well for the guys. Other than going out there to these stores paying $200-$300 for a suit rental, you look good in it at the time, and the shoes are mad comfortable, but it's even an upcharge of another $100 just for the shoes. One thing that we did at our wedding was we shopped around again. Everyone had a black suit. Formal wear is great, but why pour so much money into a wedding whenever someone only wears it for less than a day? And at the end of the day, you're still sitting there with a big bill. So that's one thing that we did as well with the dress and also the tux and the suits and stuff.
The suit that you wore it a couple of times throughout the year.
Oh, it was like $49 and I got my money's worth out of it.
Right. And I really appreciate that. That's something that you can wear, not just only that one time, but you can continuously wear it.
And let me tell y'all something. When Kisha and I, we were dating, I looked on my computer and she always say I was stalking her, but I was just like browsing my history and something stuck out at me. She was looking at this jewelry company and I was like, oh. So I clicked on it and it was just like rings. And I got Kisha the ring that she wanted. And one thing I really appreciate from Kisha is that it wasn't one of those $5,000 rings. It was a bridal set that she dropped on her favorites. And was that done intentionally? Like doing it on my computer, trying to give me a hint?
Well, since I was at your house and I didn't have my own computer or laptop, so don't want to spill any secrets. I was just looking.
Okay, so what do y'all think? Leave that in the comment section below. Was she looking or was she trying to send me a message? But it was a bridal and ring set that Kisha dropped in her favorites column. It was like $349 and it was white gold, real diamond. It wasn't cubic zirconium or anything, but even if you decide to go that route, I mean, that's great. It's whatever you feel most comfortable with. I would have been more reluctant to get a ring if I looked in there and it was a $10,000 ring. We just celebrated our 10th year anniversary, so guess what I did? I upgraded the ring. So that's something that you always can keep in mind too, that you don't have to go all out at the beginning just to impress your friends and family, which a lot of them, honestly, you probably don't even like anyway. That you just want someone to say, oh my goodness, look at that ring. Is that really worth $10,000? So guys, look into your search history. You know, your girlfriend might be dropping a hint in there. And it might be a good frugal choice hint.
Well, we had originally talked about proposing or getting married. And one of those things that you said was, well, I'm not in that financial place right now. So I'm thinking like, well, a ring is not that expensive. You can get a nice ring. Doesn't mean that you have to spend that much money.
So she admitted it. She was dropping me a hint.
I wasn't dropping a hint. I was just looking. But it was just one of the things, just have a conversation. If he says, he's not in his financial place, just look for something that's reasonable.
Yeah, because a ring is your symbol of commitment to each other. So that doesn't mean that you really have to go all out on the cost and cost you a fortune as well. So just keep that in mind. What is the main thing, do you think, Kisha?
I would say to budget.
Absolutely.
Sit down with your fiance and just talk about how much you want to spend on the wedding. Like, this is what I'm willing to spend. If it's $5,000 or if it's 7 or 8, just put that there and then just start shopping around and then deduct that from your budget.
Mm-hmm.
So then when it gets to the end, then it's like, okay, we need to start cutting something back,
mm-hmm.
or this is how much we have left, and don't go over that budget. You want to try to aim for less and not more.
Yeah, because the way that I see it is that when you budget, that's pretty much a roadmap in order for you to stay on track, stay on schedule, and also hold yourself accountable. It's that roadmap for you to get to your destination. And if you're watching this video, it's one of those things. Your destination seems like it may be to have a wedding that's not going to spiral out of control with your finances. So no matter what you do, don't think that you have to be cheap to have a frugal wedding. It's all about budgeting. It's all about shopping around. And it's all about telling people that you don't know, like, yeah, we will just stream the wedding for you. So just keep all of those things in mind. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. If you're looking for ways to save, make money, and all things related to your finances, be sure that you hit that red subscribe button down below until it turns gray, and check out more videos here on your screen. I will see you in the next video.
Bye.